Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hopefully it's working. Everything's up and running. That's what I want to see. How's everybody doing today? How's it going? Good. I'm glad. I'm glad everybody's going. I am Squeetee. There's my information right there. We're going to watch the Cleric Alpha 2 preview for the month of July 2023. Ashes of Creation just did a development update yesterday. Um, I was busy until just now, and I'm still kind of semi-busy today. I'm gonna have some lovely teriyaki noodles while we watch. I got some water, got some chips. We're gonna have a good time. Just see how it goes and see what's up with the stream. A couple people have said it was a exciting or interesting stream. I'm gonna say interesting, not necessarily exciting. That they were eager to watch my take on it. I got a bunch of people that will watch my streams like after I do them, or whenever they're at work. Usually, they watch it as like a filler to their day. So thank you for those guys that do that. Um, yeah, let's get into it. It's a hour and 38 stream. I pulled it from YouTube this time, so it's I don't know if it's 4K quality or 1080. Whatever it is what we're gonna get. It was 3 gigs, so I assume it's a 1080p. Video file I pulled, and what else we got? That's about it. We're just gonna get into it, watch the thing. Please comment, talk about it. Let's have a good time, and let me know if the volume sucks, and we'll go from there.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our glorious July.
And I will be talking over
update. Them. We hope that our wonderful community has been
Margaret,
doing
update
well.
your graphics.
We have quite a bit to go over today, so buckle in as per usual.
There you
if
go,
you are new
Margaret.
here,
Good job.
you can probably see the run of show below us. But just so that I can go over it quickly, we do have our reminders. We'll be going over our Cleric update.
Sorry if you see me slopping around.
Some of you have seen some of our Cleric updates in the past.
Shocking. I know what you enjoy.
Yes, a whole new world, some might say, of Cleric abilities.
Oh, now he's got an ET behind him?
Yes, exactly.
I think Steven and I sang that at one of the extra
I'm ready. We can do an encore presentation this year.
Oh no. Okay, I need to practice because I was really bad.
Guys, sorry for the brief delay in the stream, but we have a jam-packed, fun presentation for you today. You guys are going to see, as Margaret said, an update to the Cleric. You're going to get a really rounded look at these abilities and what the Cleric in Alpha 2 is going to play like. It's going to be an awesome opportunity for you to get us feedback. Really excited for you guys to see it. The world is looking beautiful. The effects are coming along, and the gameplay I feel for this Cleric kit is pretty good. So
I've been having fun with it. I'm part of like basically the combat team has a few experts that they're trying to have it within the teams to be experts for
that's a good idea.
And
our internal focus testers.
Yeah, focus testers. So it's been pretty fun getting to do.
I hope you have focus testers.
Yeah, and actually we had at the beginning of this month we had a lot of internal testing for combat team across all of our different internal departments, and they were able to fill out surveys and feedback. And we're all MMO gamers, so it's great for them to give this feedback. And Cleric was one of those that was showcased during that testing period. So we super excited to get your guys' thoughts.
General feedback on the encounters that they had built out, and then there was feedback per your.
My Roomba's battery.
Yes, and on top of that, we're also going to see a really cool new area. It's at the what we call the Highwayman Hills. You may have seen this location. It is in the Riverlands, but it is a bit hilly. But it is a beautiful location that the environment team has done a great job in speccing out. So a lot of fun. There's a little bit of a story arc there too.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. We kind of gave the preface for the Cleric update.
I know.
So jump right into it.
And then we have a small art update, just a couple things. So we'll focus really on answering a lot of your guys' questions. And then, of course, we have a little studio update and then Q&A from the forum.
Haven't they been promising us like a tour of the studio for 2 years now? And we're still like nowhere closer to getting one.
And of course, the first part of this is checking out the YouTube comment. from last time. And if you would like your
Actually,
comment,
every time I'm going to count
selected,
and I
all you have
forget
to do is on our next development update, when this one is up on our YouTube channel, leave a comment, make sure that you're subscribed and that we can see that you're subscribed. And then we will maybe select your comment. It's all random. So
By the way, I just would like to comment that I saw a few comments about the little dude in the background there. That is like a 7,500 piece Lego puzzle that John almost single-handedly put together. I just want to answer some of the questions of what is that. That's what that is. That thing is crazy, but it was super cool.
We don't talk about that anymore. Yeah, that's just dead in the water.
That we have is, what is the intended gameplay mechanic if you are attacked during the middle of craft or harvest? What happens to the materials used in the craft or the items being harvested?
Well, if it's in a terminal, it just stays there.
Marcus,
maybe it'll finish.
for leaving a comment over on our YouTube channel.
Maybe it'll just finish the craft.
Yeah. So this is a pretty easy one. Essentially, anytime you're in the middle of a process, such as crafting an item, if it's a fast craft situation, or harvesting a particular resource gatherable or any type of interaction point, the completion of that interaction is when the items are removed either for the crafting process or the item is received for the harvesting or gatherable interaction. So if you were interrupted during that time, you're not going to experience any type of like loss of items or failure in the gathering.
Just stops it. That's easy.
The player will have the opportunity in certain situations where combat does not automatically remove you from, because we don't want people to be able to grief in that way. Usually the player will have to make their own choice to step away from that interaction and to engage.
So someone can be stabbing you in the back
or if there's
while you're crafting a mace, but you could just be like, I don't care, I'm going to make this mace and my little
so if you want to continue, your progress there and complete that action, then gain the resources and then start interacting with the combat, that's acceptable. But everything occurs at completion of the interaction.
All right. And Stephen did do a interview with the Ashen Forge. If you haven't gotten to check that out,
the interviews were good. Some stuff was pretty good.
Of goodness that went.
Some of it was just like
that was a lot of fun. I always enjoy any type of like Q&A or
I can't say it would be a better
that's very conversational,
answer, but
right? And I had a great opportunity with
Tangents of Creations.
With both the Ashen Forge as well as Tangents of Creation, which was, I believe, that next weekend. And I had a lot of fun in both of those. So if you guys didn't have an opportunity to check that out, feel free to take a look at that. Ashen Forge and Tangents of Creation. It was a lot of fun.
They were pretty good. I'll give it to
them. We'll be doing more things like that in the future, so keep your eyes peeled. Next up, we talked about this last month, but we also still have it up and available. So if you have thoughts on roleplay, definitely head on over to our forums. We will be wrapping up soon, so it is.
I don't purposely make Twitch delayed.
Make roleplay fun. What features help remove hurdles and barriers? So if you are someone,
but I have noticed Twitch is
highly recommend heading
funny.
over to
I don't
our
know what to
forums.
say.
And of course, we will have a forum feedback thread today up for Cleric as well. I'll remind you about that a little later.
Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube should all be identical for my streams.
With that, we'll head on to the main event.
Yes. And I will just give a
very
brief
even though I don't care to play one.
Disclaimer, as usual, since we already kind of discussed what's in here. As always, everything is work in progress.
I want a tank update again.
UI, we have not really entered into a polish phase for Alpha 2, so what you are seeing is active development. Keep that in mind as you're watching. Things will improve. Don't look at it as a final product, but look at it as a directional preview, which is what we want you guys to give feedback on, and that's why we do these presentations on a monthly basis, is so that you can take a look at the directionality that we are going with the class kit design, the world design,
how much money they're
combat
still
design,
off
and
of
you
like
guys
the
can
monthly
give us
packs and
feedback
stuff.
on
If
that
it's like
directionality.
helping
So
sustain
with that
them.
being said, please enjoy.
See you on the flip side.
Because I feel once when that money starts to dry up, boom, Alpha 2 will hit. That's my guess. Alpha 2? Why did I name the stream A2?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another day in Vera Happy to be with you guys again. I can't believe that it
There we
is
go.
the end of July, but we have a
I like that
fun
mouth.
presentation to show you guys today. An update on the Cleric kit and also a little bit of a showcase for the Highwayman Hills area, which is a very cool point of interest. I am joined by two of our glorious designers whom you have spoken with before in the past. They are our resident Dr. Bucky. Bucky, how you doing,
Good
buddy?
day.
Good, I'm doing great.
Welcome, sir. And then we also have our glorious combat designer, Mr. Trad. How you doing, Trad?
Doing great. Happy to be here again.
Yeah, happy to have you guys.
Oh, you
with
got
us.
their
So
point of view again.
obviously, clerics
I
are
do
near
like
and
that.
dear to a lot of people's hearts. We had a little bit of a showcase for the cleric. Gosh, when was that? That was last year? Yeah.
Too long
Yeah,
ago.
I think so. A few live streams ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a few, and we were in. I think we were in that cemetery area, and we were kind of showcasing
That was
some,
that
some
long
things.
ago?
And the community gave us a
Holy
lot of
crap.
great feedback. And your guys' team on the combat strike team have
That's
now had an
ridiculous.
opportunity to kind of go through, analyze, and collect that feedback, incorporate it as part of our development process. And we have a little bit more extensive of a kit today to show. I think we have roughly 18 abilities, or how many abilities are we showing off today?
Yeah, somewhere between 16 and
18.
18 on there.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's very
Big
very
increase.
excited to big increase. Gives a much more comprehensive look at the core kit for the
I
archetype.
thought
which
they
is
were only going
super
to have
exciting.
like
So
8 abilities.
before we begin, why don't we perhaps talk a little bit about the area that we are in? And by the way, yes, this is a noble warhorn.
I hate games with
He is
ability
a-
blow.
he's a
I
big
really
fella.
do.
He's excited to get in there. He's heard that there is some minotaurs that have taken up residence in what used to be, I think, a bandit camp. Look at how oh, we don't have sounds associated with them yet. Sorry, guys. Sound effects.
I'll
Sound
do
effects.
some.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hold on, wait.
Sound doesn't rhino
we gotta
me
time
anyway.
that. We gotta time that right. Hold on. 3, 2. Thank you, Bucky. That was perfect, and that is why you are Dr. Bucky. No, but tell us a little bit about this place, the Highwayman Hills.
Yeah, so we're venturing into the Highwayman Hills, a place notorious for, bandit activity, always dangerous to run a caravan through here. Even just looking at these, walls here, you could see we could get, jumped at any moment. But, yeah, so used to be resided by bandits, but now there's a story arc that's been triggered. So the Shattercloud tribe of Minotaur have recently seized control of the area, so we're going to be seeing a lot of Minotaur activity now instead.
Ah, and that's part of the whole, how story arcs are intended to kind of change the environment, the world. Obviously we saw this a little bit with the Tower of Carfin presentation, but the spawners are adaptive based on the state of the world.
I do love that
state is
concept, though. I
inclusive
do love
of
it.
these
I think
story
it's going
arc
to make the game
conditions, yeah?
so
yeah,
difficult
exactly.
to
And
build.
if we're able to, complete our quest here, we might further change as well.
This is absolutely beautiful. I can't believe Environment has done a tremendously glorious job in creating. I love the canopy through the approach into the Highwayman Hills zone. It is super cool.
Yeah, it looks great with the God Rays coming in.
Oh yeah, you can't have enough goblins, as Tristan knows. So do we have a quest for this area, or
I would just wait till Alpha is playable, then it will be closer to what
Ooh,
design it will be.
Location entered. Okay, so we actually
Yeah,
now
yeah.
are
With how
in the
much,
Highwayman Hills.
with
Perhaps
how
I
much
should
they've
let
been
my,
changing lately,
my noble war.
Yeah,
I have no doubt in my mind
dangerous.
that things are
You've
more
been
up
a
in
trusty
the air
steed, my friend.
than we even
This
think.
area is just far too dangerous for your kind.
The chat box
So
is small
just
too.
hang out here and we'll be back. Okay, so I think, what's been relatively successful in the past, or the community has enjoyed, is when we kind of spend a little bit of time up front going through each of these abilities, describing
That's
what
a
they
little
do, and then we can do some gameplay and kind of show off the kit in action. We might want to take a volunteer, because I know this is all healing centric for the most part, which means we'll actually have to have a target. Bucky, would you like to be that
Sure.
Is
yes.
Bucky a tank?
Gotta do it right here in
Okay.
the shade. Is this good?
Oh my god, this is hopefully not
Oh.
a sign of things to come, but there's
Oh,
a
no.
corpse next to you.
I think it might be
That
plus
guy didn't get
dangerous.
any heals.
Oh no.
What happened to this guy?
Didn't get any
No,
heals,
dude.
man.
That's
Who
what
is
hap-
this?
happened.
Oh my god. That looks
Only we
terrible.
could res him.
Poor- Okay, so let's start off with this with this
we got?
kit. What is our first ability that we have?
Which one are you looking at? Mend here?
It looks like, yeah, I'm looking at men.
Okay.
It says that it instantly launches a healing projectile toward target ally.
Yeah.
Each charge of the ability consumed after the first has no mana cost. Okay, that's nice. And it restores an increasing amount of mana to the caster based on the number of missing charges. Consecutive
Restores
uses
an
of the
increasing
ability
amount of mana.
will gain bonus healing. So
Yeah.
talk to me a little bit about the intent here.
This is kind of the efficient maintenance heal that you can fall back on if things aren't, hitting the fan too hard. So if you're, if your target's not gonna not in immediate danger of dying, this is a lighter weight heal that is much more efficient on your mana resource.
Okay.
I'll just keep damaging myself so you can heal me.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's pretty nice and comfortable to use. And see the little.
I do like that
tiles.
animation.
It's not great for
That is really
a
nice.
super reactive situation because they have that travel time. But
But you still have the
it's pretty
opportunity to
good.
use them. Yeah.
It's more like a predictive heal, right? Like when you don't need to immediately respond to a bad situation.
And just to keep in mind, guys, as always, this is very necessary for us to say, this is still a work in progress. We are working towards our Alpha 2. You're going to see the state of the UI is not in its
But the way
final
this
form.
is that mendability
Same
is
is
built
true for
is
the
almost like
visual
you want to
effects,
spam it, kind of.
and everything else.
Because you
right?
get
Everything
bonuses
is always
for
in
doing
a
more.
state of polish and kind of refinement, or excuse me, when we get to that state. But that's what.
Oh,
you're
that's
doing.
my
So this is a pretty useful ability. You're intended to kind of like weave this in between your normal rotation, yeah?
Yeah. So one of the
So as it
reasons
recharges,
this
you
came to
get
be
more
for
up
the
to
kit
5.
is in the last version of the kit we felt like you were kind of swapping between cooldowns because you just used whatever was up, but you didn't really have a comfortable fallback. And so this one serves as more of a filler activity that's a little more freely usable and more spammable. A lot of healers we played in past games, they have that heal, like that core heal that you can just kind of use back to back, and that one is filling that role to a degree.
Cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. Sorry, Bucky. you were
Oh
gonna
yeah,
say?
between this one and then the next one, Deliverance, they're both kind of like your core.
I do like
filler
the
heals that are
icons
constant,
though
like your
as
bread
well.
and butters, really.
Awesome. So Deliverance. Let's
They
talk a
all
little
have
bit
a
about that.
theme
It says a held ability, which
to them,
means that
which
it's a
I
variable
like.
charge value. Yeah.
They look
Yeah,
very healing too.
I
Charging
really like
cooldowns,
this
so
one.
don't spam
I'm
anything
sure
you want to do.
there's something.
Yeah,
out
I
there
mean,
that
you got up to
actually
5
healing
charges, so I
that
mean, you
had
can quick spam.
like a casted heal,
But
that
then
you
you're
could
down
reset variable points of
15
time,
seconds
and it
till you're
just
back up,
to
I
me
guess.
it seems like it fits heal really well because of its reactive nature. So you can release it. You can kind of hold it in. If your target's, you're almost playing kind of Russian roulette with your target. You're pushing it to the last second to get the most value.
Yeah, it's a really nice tool to have to be able to cook the heal basically. If you think the target's going to take some more damage, you get
Okay,
more
that's
value out of
cool.
it. The other cool thing about this one is that it scales based on the missing health of the target. So if you cast it on me now when I'm at full health, it'll heal for a lot less than when I'm pretty
I
low.
don't get how why. Oh.
That's super cool. Whoops. Okay, let's try you super low. So, holding it.
Well,
full
yeah.
health,
But with how many other heals
780.
he has here, it's like most of these look like
it's
they're
about 1400.
And that would have been even more if his health
Heals.
were even
I don't know.
lower.
We'll
So,
see.
Like you said, if you were at
I'll
one health,
I'll get super low here.
yeah, so you'll see an even bigger. So it scales on 2 axes basically. It's scaling on both missing
I'm at
health.
9.
Yeah, scaling on both missing health and the amount of time you charge it. So there's a lot of
Oh, wow.
okay. The deliverance
that's
one's
cool.
pretty cool. That's like
I like the Russian roulette aspect of it. I can just imagine the amount of friction that's going to cause in parties when the cleric player wants to maximize the efficacy of the heal versus the player recipient that's like, whoa, man.
that drama
Yeah,
between
really, that's
tanks and
gonna mess
healers
with
is
people
what
for
MMOs
sure.
are all about.
Absolutely. That's like standard staple interaction. Okay, cool.
Okay,
So that's
soothing
a
glow.
super cool ability. Talk to me a little bit about
So
soothing.
a hot.
This is a bread and butter region spell. You have 3 charges of it. You can either stack them all on one target, and they don't stack in healing, but they will stack in duration. So if you just want a really long duration heal on your tank or regen on your tank, then you can do that. Or you can spread it out for more effective heal
Okay.
per second by having them all tick simultaneously on 3 different targets. So there's a
So
couple
either you
different
spread
ways
it
to
out
use
or you stack it up, and
Super
then
cool.
you forget about it.
Obviously, hots are
I wish there
something
showed
you can't
how
keep up often. So this also has charges.
8-second
Yep.
cooldown for the charge. I wish
Nice.
it told you how long it lasted.
All right, I see we have a flash cure. Talk to me about the flash cure.
another charge-based thing. This is actually the last one, so it's not like all the abilities. have
Everything
charges.
is charges, charges,
They
stacks
just-
on stacks.
They just happen to be very front-loaded here. But this is your last charge-based ability. this is an instant heal. The neat gimmick about this one is you can use it during other abilities. It's kind of like our version of what you would refer to as an OGCD, or an off global cooldown.
Okay.
We don't actually have a global cooldown in the game right now, but it serves as that kind of thing where, for example, one way I like to use this is if you're charging Deliverance, you could even push it a little further by hitting that flash cure as you're charging up Deliverance, if you want to do that.
Now, presumably, though, you wouldn't want to flash cure while you're using Deliverance unless you're afraid that they're going to die. Exactly.
That's a hell
Or
of a
you can
game
also
you're
just
playing.
let go of Deliverance and have it just go off right then and there. So you kind of have choices there, and whether you want to try to get maximum Deliverance value by throwing in a flash gear or just making sure your target doesn't die.
All right, I like that little.
I like that.
Oh my
kind
God,
of
macros,
shit
yeah.
button, so to speak, right? Where essentially, you know, for me as a person who's mained healer often,
Yeah,
it's
quick
always a
spam
very
that.
tense
Boom, 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 boom.
situation when you're waiting
Instant.
for that massive group heal cast time to go off, or whatever massive burst heal that you're trying to do, and you're puckering up because who knows if they're going to live during that cast
Yeah, that's a
time.
good point.
But if you need to, you can always pop a little bit of flash cures.
Yeah,
it's
fun to use.
minute. Yeah. You're going to say, Trent? Yeah.
I was just saying it's fun to use.
If you
It's
could
like a
macro
nice
that
little
with the
emergency
hots,
tool, because
and just,
a lot of the time you're
boom,
as
boom,
a
boom,
healer,
like
you're
real quick.
waiting for that
That
kill to
would
go
be-
off. You're like, come on, come on, come
that'd
on.
be
And
something
sometimes
crazy
you
right
miss
there.
it. It feels a little bad, and this is a way to. This
Absolutely.
is an answer to that.
Yeah, super cool. Okay, next one we have here. The Resplendent Beam. Talk to me about that one. We've seen that, and we've seen an iteration of that in the past,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
This
Sure,
is a
as well as
returning
the
one, but it's seen a little bit of change. Before it was just you popped it and it would do a chain heal. Now you can use it on Bucky. Just hit it, tap the button.
Just a tap tap.
Yep.
Tap-a-roo.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly. There you go. And it's
Oh.
so you can use it as a quick single target heal that way. But you can also charge it. So this is another held ability, and the longer you charge it, the more targets it will bounce between.
That's like you prep that before
Okay.
a boss does an
and
AoE attack or
hold it,
something.
You'll see that.
I should probably set my cooldowns to 0 for this portion of the.
Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be good. But yeah, it kind of has the you can use it just instant cast to get a quick heal off on someone, or you can decide to charge it up basically and have it bounce to a bunch of people.
If
so.
you charge it all the way, it should bounce between all of us. A little triangle.
So let me try the quick cast again real quick. All right,
Cool.
so that's the quick cast, and then I'll charge it up.
Hits everybody.
Ah, super cool. Okay. I like how I'm just with the animation, it's just
I know
let's
they.
try
I'm
that.
pretty sure they said they're not going to have macros
Yeah,
built into the
animators do
game.
some pretty cool work.
But now I'm wondering,
That's
like,
cool. Very nice. Okay,
how are
I
they
like
gonna
that. I like
enforce
the dual
people
purpose
using a
nature
macro
of that. And
bounce?
obviously,
Like,
this
are they
is a
gonna
great
ban
point of
you, or-
feedback for those of you in the
'cause this
audience
is-
who are kind of watching
like you
and taking
mentioned
a look at this class kit.
macros.
Do you
like,
like the versatility
this is all built
on a
for it.
bespoke basis per ability, where you kind of have alternate types of functionality that's up to the user to determine based on the situation? Or do you like more static use cases, right? Something that is very specific and you
Is
have
this,
to kind of
like-
use it for that situation.
I don't know now.
That's a great question to get feedback on. Personally,
So while
myself,
you're
I
charging
think
up that-
providing
the one
user
they just
more
showed, you could hit
flexibility
the
and
number
versatility
4
in the
ability
use
to
of these
instant
abilities,
heal. In
makes
theory.
for interesting gameplay. A lot of agents.
You can almost macro that every time
Okay,
that
let's move to the
other
next
the
one.
instant
Blessing
heal's
weapon.
ready,
Talk
just
to me about this
fires.
This
If
is
you're
one of my
wrong, be lazy.
favorites. This is basically a utility, a mana utility that you can use on either yourself or an ally. So it's kind of like a decision point of, do I want to, sacrifice some of my own mana
Yeah.
resource management in exchange for helping out an ally? And one way I like to use this is I'll just kind of look at my own mana or someone else's, and it's like, oh, the tank's really low. I'll throw this on them for now, and then I'll put it on myself later. The eventual idea, it's not set up this way currently, but the idea is you can freely kind of switch it around between yourself and different party members. Right now it's just on a cooldown.
Okay, so I'm going to use this on myself, and what effect are we going to see right now?
So it'll bless your weapon as it is appropriately named, and while that is
no, I
you
blessed
gave it to me.
Bucky's weapon.
Yep.
Yes.
Shoot.
So that means if Bucky were to attack an enemy, he would return mana per hit.
Okay.
So if
we'll show
if
that
I
when we
throw
get
this
to
on
There's
like a
only
high
weapon numbers.
DPS
Okay, got it. Cool.
character that has a lot of quick hits, it'll
I see
pump
also
me
we
full
have
of mana.
here, let's go to Judgment. We have Judgment. We saw a version of this in the
Interesting.
past.
Yep.
Yeah, so Judgments, we've since changed Judgments. Now it's a lot longer of a cast.
No?
but effectively it's similar where you can either cast it on an enemy to do a huge portion of damage, or you can cast it on an ally to do a huge heal. So it's kind of a big
Okay.
charged nuke. Yeah.
Nice. You want to do some damage
Oh, yeah,
to
sorry.
yourself here? Let me show that off.
We've juiced this
Let's
one up a
see.
bit.
It has received the juicing. Or, I'm sorry, apologies. The juice. The juice box. The juice box, thank you.
Oh, the person
Oh,
with
whoops.
it? Oh, I thought it was transferred to the. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Super cool.
So
Super
not as
Still,
big as
that's-
Deliverance, where
okay,
it
so
fully
that's a
charged
bl-
Deliverance
I
at low
get the
health, but it's
blessing
still
on it.
pretty big, and it
That
even
is
if they're
good.
high.
Either way, it's good.
So
Just
it's
not as exciting as I hoped.
What's this one? What's Communal Restoration?
Another one that's a returning
Another
familiar
Returning, yeah.
familiar cleric spell is this one's been changed a little bit too, but it's mostly the same. It's still a party-based heal. It's really your only party-based heal that doesn't have any proximity, unless like they're really far, but it extends pretty far to all party members. It does a direct heal.
I think
but
they
also
said it had a
hot
cooldown.
component, so it's like
And the
more,
way he
again,
blessed when he
not
blessed
super
Bucky,
responsive, but it's very
he went on a
value,
Bucky, and then he blessed
especially
himself, and
in,
it
like,
looked
an
like
eight-person
Bucky's.
Yeah, it's
The
also
buff
giving
on
some
Buck-
temporary
Bucky's
hit points. You
weapon
can see,
went
I
away.
think, in the UI.
Yep.
A little bit of temp HP.
But if you could buff
Oh, let's see
everybody
where
in the
that is.
group,
Where's that at?
It should be a little
buff
blue
yourself,
bar
buff
overlay.
like a high
Yeah,
DPS.
bars. See that little portion of temp health there?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I see
Once
that.
the-
Okay, cool. So this
yeah.
can overcast.
Exactly. Yeah. Once the effect
Oh.
expires, too, the temp health will go away. So if it wasn't, you weren't damaged in the time, then it's not effective healing.
It
So
feels
AoE
like
heal with a slight
perhaps
hot.
the instant health received from this might be a little low. Is that the intent, or
It is a little low, and I mean, this obviously all these things are kind of in early iterations.
Mhm.
Nothing's super
Yes.
balanced. Things are kind of balanced, but like for this one, it's like okay, the value is one, you don't have to worry about positioning of your team. It
Yeah,
just
but you
hits
mainly-
everybody, and if in an
That's a good
8-person
question.
group, that kind of adds up.
Maybe
a lot,
if they have
plus
a
the high effect and all the other
magical
stuff going on.
ability that they use with their melee weapons, I'm not sure.
all right? What's this next one we have?
They haven't. I
Consecrating.
don't remember them really showing any
This one's pretty sweet.
melee.
So this one's
mana
a
use.
frontal cone heal. So you don't need a target for this one. You can just cast it and it'll shoot it forward based on which way you're looking, and it'll heal everyone it hits, all allies, and then it'll also damage enemies it hits too. So it has a
Okay.
dual purpose as well. It's AOE damage in.
Wow,
That's a lot of
that's
spam in
cool.
there.
It's great.
In contrast to communal restoration, this one's a bit more powerful. Also does damage. So that's kind of the trade-offs. Is you have to it costs you in your positioning, but then
Have they
it's
talked
in
about any
exchange for
combo
more power.
Something we
abilities
haven't
yet?
talked about doing Mountain
Besides
hasn't
the
done yet was
instant
making
off
it
of, global
split between all the
cooldown
targets
kind
hit.
of
So if
deal?
you hit a lot of targets, it'll do less, and like if you hit half enemies, half allies, it'll split the total throughput. But I don't think we've done that part yet.
Very
Yeah,
cool, very cool.
I think you
All right,
did.
talk to me a little bit about Divine Flare.
Yeah, this one is another kind of what I refer to as like action heals. Consecrating Wave and Divine Flare, they're heals that you have to aim in world. So this one,
Alright,
if you
that's
put
a
it on
pretty
the
common
ground,
heal.
it's like a delayed
In a game.
AOE. If you want to try that on Bucky or something, and after
Bucky, you look like you need some health.
I'm dying.
All right, here, let me help you.
oh, see, you gotta get in it.
I
man.
missed it.
So wait, it's the first person
Oh,
to.
it's so good.
So what's interesting
like
about
it.
that one is it would also split amongst targets. So I got a bigger heal there because Bucky didn't make it in time. It is kind of a funny little like mind game going there of I'm gonna jump in there, but it's at the expense of his health. 'cause
Oh,
I'm stealing
that's.
Tanks only, please, in this AOE.
yeah.
Get these trash mages out.
Some more social conflict dynamics going on.
Okay, that's an odd heal. So it's got a timer
like
for
the,
the pop off. Okay.
Excuse me. Had to cough for a second. I like the delayed functionality in that ability. I think that's super cool, especially for an AoE skill. And telegraphing the location.
I don't know how
obviously,
they're gonna do. I don't know.
basic
Some of these
count,
abilities don't seem
hard.
necessarily as
Definitely
useful.
very
especially in
proactive one.
weird. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, super cool. All right, awesome. Let's talk a little bit about Barrier.
Yeah, so Barrier is the classic kind of shield spell you'd expect to see from a healer kit. So, but with the added twist that you have to sacrifice a bit of your own health as the healer. to cast it.
25%
So
of
it
your
doesn't actually
heal
use mana.
for
I don't
health?
think it just you
That's
sacrifice
a
a portion of your
lot.
health to directly give to another player every time.
What does the barrier do?
Okay,
Can
I
you
like
tell
that.
us the
That's
stats?
Yeah.
Wait, that died real quick.
And it's a clear delineation, obviously, in the style of the shield bubble, so that you can.
So for 25% health, you get a shield on one character for.
Yeah, we can do a
Cool.
comparison.
What's that? 8 seconds?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, here you go. Oh, you're bubble brothers.
Five,
Do you guys bounce
6.
off of each other?
Bubble pals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
buddies.
discussed bubble physics in, yeah.
Ten.
We're bubble buddies.
So 10 seconds.
have some
It's got a bubble.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the chains of restraint.
Yeah, this one's pretty similar to what it was before.
Could be adding more skills in
It
the
does
healing,
damage
so the
over
time
time,
is
so
a
it's,
thing
really,
you need.
it's pretty much the primary AoE damage tool of the Cleric, which isn't really the
Yeah,
primary
maybe.
role of the Cleric, but
It feels like,
and it also
obviously we
applies
don't see the
staggers that
cooldown
provide some offensive support.
and the overall mana
Stagger, for
burn.
example, synergizes very well with some tank abilities, which what it effectively does is extends the duration of a trip, which is a knockdown. So
But
if, like stack.
I just feel like there's an overabundance of healing
they
abilities
spend more
here.
time.
But
on
obviously we'll
than
see how
they had in
that turns
stagger
out
role.
in the end.
Very cool. And obviously, as we said, guys, just so you're aware, when it comes to the development of the abilities, there is a specific pipeline that includes ideation
feel like this cleric has nothing but,
the
you
bare
know,
bones kind of standing up with
heals.
the functionality with design, and then it
Yeah, I
moves
know,
to,
it's not scaled.
animation to provide final animation sets, and then it
We'll see what
moves
the last
to,
couple abilities are. It
visual
just doesn't
effects,
feel
and
like
then
a
it
lot
moves
of
to audio effects.
or any
And
real
visual effects and audio effects that tend to
offensive
be part of that
attacks.
pipeline are usually the things that get
Gotta throw a couple
that still
in there
need
for
works
like
that are still
combat.
heavily works in progress. So you're seeing the visual effects now, but obviously that will change in the future. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Defiant Light.
Yeah, so this one's a really good tool for saving someone who's in danger of dying. It's very powerful.
I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Which one? Okay.
So it applies, first of all, it applies a huge heal over time to the target. But if they die while this heal over time is in effect, it'll prevent their death and heal them for a flat amount and dispel itself. So it's kind of like a... Oh!
Oh wow!
I don't think it works with Nuke, but...
Oh no.
Oh, Steven, you did it again.
That's funny. Just
Sorry.
AIDS planted.
You said that it would keep you alive.
We'll see if it actually works in
We'll
action.
use it in action, yeah.
Okay,
Some
I'm
moments,
sorry.
leave some moments.
I just wanted to. You said it'll keep you alive. So the first thing that
it's
came to mind is let me kill you
The
to
int-
demonstrate.
Yeah,
But I don't know if it was
if-
proportional to
if
the
that
heal
had happened and that was real damage, he would have prevented the death. The effect would be removed, and then he would receive a heal up to like 25% of his HP.
Awesome.
I don't trust this
Okay,
cleric.
cool.
Just go alone tread.
Okay, so that's Defiant Light. Not as defiant as we thought it would be, but hopefully it will be when we get into combat. Okay, Healing Touch. Talk to me a little bit about this.
That's a melee heal basically. You have to be up next to your target, but it is an insta cast and it's a pretty fat heal. So it's kind of like Consecrating Wave. It's being costed more on its positioning, but rewards. Maybe if some of our more melee built clerics would really want to lean into this, because they have that positioning advantage for it.
Oh, there you go. Okay. See, look at that. What I taketh, I give.
It only uses 20
There you are. Have
20
fun.
mana.
This one combos really nicely too with the next ability, the Wings of Salvation, because it'll let you get into melee and then you can follow it up with a Healing Touch on if they're low.
Yeah, this is
All right.
essentially an ally gap closer.
Ooh, I like that.
So this is, you must have an ally targeted, and definition of an ally is going to be any non-combatant player and non-mob NPC.
Non-combatant player?
Okay. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Oh, it's missing. I think it's missing audio effects. Let's see. Missing? Oh no,
yeah.
there it goes.
Oh, there it goes, yeah.
Oh,
The
okay,
Phoenix.
wait. We got to give it the full Phoenix sound. Hold on.
Their signature Phoenix ability.
Oh, the audio might
Yeah,
be a little
it's
bit
going in
better,
and out.
but that's okay. As we said, all things are worked in progress. Nice. There it is.
Try the
We
1-2
got that
with the
full.
healing touch follow up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna T into Shift T. Got it.
That's a good combo right there when someone's about on the brink of death.
What if I T while flashing and then Shift T? Hold on, wait a
Oh,
second.
I haven't even tried that.
Oh my
Right,
god.
yeah, you don't. And that might be good for like
Wait, hold on.
Castle sieges.
Oh, that
It
worked.
all happened so fast, I can't even.
Super healing.
You know, when
It
there's
sort
a
of works.
ton
I
of
think it's
people
two hands.
fighting for a castle, split between groups or
Top tier
something.
game.
So we got-
Maybe big boss race.
We got Wings of Salvation, and then I'm looking here. We have Smite,
Oh, okay, they do have some attacks.
Condemn, and Divine Infusion.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can't show Smite or Condemn. We'll use those on enemies here in a second, but let's talk about Divine Infusion.
interesting.
And this one is a bigger topic.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the class resource and then how this plays into it. You'll notice if you look at the top left, there are now 3 resource bars for the cleric. And that third one you might have seen going up and down as as Steven's been healing.
Crackers.
But this resource regenerates based on how much healing and damage you've been doing over the last 10 seconds. So the more radiant damage and the more you're healing, and it's only effective healing, so you can't overheal for this. But the more you're doing that, the faster this resource will build up. And the way you spend this
That's
resource
cool.
is on an ability called Divine Infusion.
I see you, sir.
And what this is
What's up?
if you have enough resource to complete the cast of a spell, you can use this during the cast of a spell and it will auto-complete that spell. I've never actually seen a mechanic
What?
like this in a game before. It was a pretty cool
No,
idea that came
just
up
after
with
you're
the
done.
design team.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so essentially, I am gonna
Hold on.
build
I'm
up
gonna
some
open
of
up
the unique
I'm gonna
energy.
mute myself.
I'm gonna do that by healing Bucky, and then I am going to use a long cast ability, and I'm going to attempt to use Divine Infusion to complete that cast sooner than normally would be possible. And
Okay.
just to be
hopefully not too
clear,
annoying
if
with
I
this.
were not to, let's say, use that ability, then I would have a passive benefit for my character while that energy is maintained that amplifies some spell efficacy as a healer.
Hold on.
Cool. Okay, so let me try to get some of this stuff. Whoops. Oh, I got one off of that. Okay, so it's gradually earning it over time.
Yeah,
Real slow.
when you heal, it kind of gives you some generation of this resource. Then it kind of rewards you the actual resource over time. So you can see it kind of
Okay.
filling in your bar.
Yeah, we've been referring to this as like a heat mechanic, right? So it's not like a direct instant translation of you heal this
Okay.
much and you get this resource.
So you have to maintain quality
ramping
healing.
up your region and build up rate.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to use Judgment, and then I'm going to pop my Divine Infusion. Oh, whoops.
That's bad. I don't think it would work
Shift
with
one.
men.
Oh, look
Very
at that!
nice.
And it consumed some of out of it.
Oh, you were able to
Okay,
do two?
very cool. Yeah, I was able to
Cool.
do 2. I like that. Another oh shit button.
Yeah, there is a lot of like
Very
organic healing
cool.
here.
Yeah, Cleric. This version of the Cleric has a lot of tools in its kit. Just to set expectations, you know that not any given Cleric build would probably have all of these things. You would spec into certain ones, most likely. We're still working that out.
Awesome. Okay, so let's take a look then at some of those
Let's
more
do it.
offensive abilities. Let us perhaps find
You can't have a good cleric without a couple
potential
poke
target
abilities.
Got a group
here
of Minotaurs
for
right
me
up
to
here.
Use Smite and Condemn. You think we can peel just one of them off?
We could. I could
Wait,
grapple
let me
one.
actually heal you
Maybe
up.
heal me. Yeah. Trad could sleep the other two actually too.
Oh, and let me set my cooldowns so that I'm not cheating too much. Back to standard.
Want to sleep the back two, Trad, and I'll grapple the front one.
Sure.
All right, and then I'm going to use... what is Smite first before we do that? What is Smite?
Smite's just a, well, you can use it in 2 different ways, as is a running theme with a lot of our abilities, but you can use it from a range, and it'll have a cast time and just do damage to the target. And if you use it in melee, it's an instant.
Okay, so when you're getting
And
beat
one of
up
those
by
things that you
a
get a little more
a
benefit
rogue
for
that
if
just
you're-
popped out at you in PvP, you just spam
Okay, so-
smite.
It's going
Oh,
to
it's got
apply
8
a stack
seconds,
of
never
burning
mind.
and deal instant damage to the target. Okay, and then just real quick, Condemn is a straight up just stun.
Correct.
Casted stun.
All right, very cool. Okay, so in that case, let me start by casting Judgment on it, perhaps.
Okay.
While you prepare to sleep those 2 rain callers.
Do it.
Okay,
Go.
ready? Casting judgment.
Casting judgment.
All right. Okay, now you're good, tank. If you want to grab it. Good luck. All right.
Okay.
Oh, smite. That's kind of cool.
Oh.
Oh,
Healer.
That's very cool. How you doing over there? Oh, Jim Dread's taking some health. Very cool. Okay. Get the hang of this. Oh, I noticed that on this wand, I'm getting some health back a little bit.
What do you mean,
This has
Steven?
some minimal lifesteal or something?
Yeah,
I
I think that's the one from
It's like
Carfin.
a Carfin wand, yeah.
Lifesteal
Nice,
ability.
very cool.
Little passive life
Or
leech.
skill, or whatever you want to call it.
Very cool. All right, so I noticed that we have a quest in this area. Or what is this? This is not a quest. This is a story arc.
Yeah, so we're gonna try and go through this area, and we're looking for. I think the first part of the quest is a bag. You're on the quest, right, Steven? Looking for a backpack.
Yes, I am on the quest. So let me just here. Why don't we just stand here real quick, up near the bridge? I just want to get a look at this.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, that does look really cool.
It's an old abandoned ruin.
Isn't like everything in this
Yeah,
world
this
an
is
old
just a
abandoned
beautiful
ruin?
area. I mean, it's I love what the environment team has done. The ruins, the god rays, everything. Great job here. So what are we doing next? What is this quest? Obviously, some bandits have been expelled from the area, and there's some minotaurs and whatnot. What are we doing here?
Yeah, so we're kind of coordinating with one of the bandit leaders. So I think we're gonna have to find his bag to go meet up with him. I think that's the plan. We got to fight through some minotaurs first.
Okay. All right. Cool. I got your
An
back.
armored bear?
You do your thing, Chicken Wing.
Orc
I got you.
Grizz?
We got a war grizz too.
Steven. Why would you do that?
All right. I brought some friends because. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Are you?
I got
We'll
you.
find out if he
He's
does.
looking at me. Oh, he's charging.
Oh, he mauled you. Did he knock you down?
Yeah, I got knocked over a little bit. I can knock him down too.
Get him. Nice. Very nice.
I do like that ball
lightning.
lightning. That does look very nice.
Okay, Trad, doing some deeps. Here, I can help you out with the deeps.
This ring collar's just on you.
Well, it knows who the real threat in the party
Yeah.
is, Bucky.
Guess he's like, I'm the only healer. This Grizz has so much health. Oh, I'm dying. Heal me up. Oh, nice. Flash
I
gear.
got you. Flash cure.
Flash gear.
Look at that maximum efficacy on
Nice.
He
the
waited to the last
Deliverance.
second for that
on
thing.
the deliverance. Oh my God!
Stun it,
There's a bear.
Steven.
Oh no.
Sleeping it.
Nice.
Don't
Oh,
look
they're
at
gonna
it.
hit it. You know it.
We're good.
This Grizz has so much health.
Okay, mana consumption's not too bad so far with the kid. Of course, as you guys all know, oh God, it's standing. It's sensing you. It can smell the chocolate in your pocket. He's like, oh, what's that?
At least he's healing pretty good. Usually, when he's playing, he's kind of all over the
The mana
place.
consumption's not too bad. Now, obviously, I know we haven't gone through really a balance pass between mana consumption and cooldowns and health return. So, as you guys are watching, just keep that in mind. This is work in progress. We're really trying to stand up the core functionality of the kit and getting its playstyle to represent the role, right? Especially within synergy of the Holy Trinity. Hey, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
You handled that grouping pretty well.
Steven's gonna pull more.
Coordination there. We almost
No,
got him.
Steven,
All
no! Now you're being the worst
Okay,
party
there's
member
more in
ever.
here.
Just bringing them over to you. I don't want my tank to have to run so much, right?
Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Or should I be like one of those other tanks, like You touch the mobs, you take it.
How dare you? Don't you ever
Get out of my
Steve,
party.
You know, those types of tanks, and I know they're out there, but if you are forcing someone else in the party to heal, it's because you're not keeping a pace. Ooh.
True. Facts.
Ooh. Very true. This is a nice little area. Okay, we're just taking a seat here.
Yeah, you know, just resting up, get my mana back.
Taking in the views. Very nice.
The views of the.
So, okay. Talk the views of this shed. I was looking behind me. I'm looking behind me. I don't just look at a shed and say views, but
You guys are out of
okay.
control.
So
At least have a fun time.
So talk to me a little bit about UI versus action healing, right? Obviously, I have mained healers in the past. One of the things I enjoy between the predictive nature of healing and the reactive nature of it is that
I'm so hungry
it's
today.
very two different tempos,
So
and I
hungry.
like both of them, right? If I have to, kind of. Oh wait, hold on. Before I get into this, what is this? This is a backpack.
Is that a Splint's bag?
I don't touch bags that I don't own. Does one of you guys want to?
Okay, should I do it?
Will it update? Well, it'll update the story arc for everyone in the area, right?
I think so.
If somebody can find it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Got it. Let's see. I'll
Splint's
watch and
bag.
see.
He must be nearby.
Does it update for me? I don't know.
Open it, Steven.
Okay, I will say. Oh, it did. It just updated for me.
Okay, gotcha.
Cool. All right, there we go. And as you guys know, obviously UI is very work in progress.
UI looks
We're
okay.
still working on
Like,
this. Okay, so predictive
Looks
versus
fine.
kind of reactive healing. I like both, right? I love the. Excuse me. I like the ability for me to kind of have control over the engagement and predict where I'm going to need to. This is a beautiful view. Where I'm going to need to heal, but I also like the kind of whack-a-mole gameplay where I'm interfacing with my. Oh, and let me see if I can move this. Actually, I want to. As a healer, I tend to have.
always one of those healers.
My bar a little bit closer. Do I
Mhm.
want to move anything else? Hold on. I'll move my health plate.
Yeah, I
There
feel
we
like when I
go.
start a new fight, I tend to be a lot more like reactive because I'm not used to the damage patterns as much as a healer. But then as you kind of get more familiar and you kind of know what to expect, you can start being a lot more predictive, which can certainly improve your performance. And it's good to have tools for both in any kit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Totally agree. I see Splint across the way.
Oh, is he up there, up on that tower?
Yeah.
See this rope he climbed up with, maybe.
Am I supposed to be killing? Are we killing him or are we talking to
No, I
him?
think
we're
we're-
supposed to. Oh, we're
yeah,
getting a chest key.
Yeah, we're gonna coordinate with him. He wants to get these minotaurs out of the bandit camp, so we have to work with the enemy a little bit here.
Okay. So we're going down on those
Yeah, I
dry
don't wanna,
riverbed.
Yeah, I don't want to go through the front entrance. There's like a ton of minotaurs there, so I think we should try and fight through this way, maybe. We got a wolf.
All
Yeah,
right.
you go right to the front door.
Oh, okay. Little wolf.
Mess him
Little
up.
Oh my gosh, he dodged my
How
attack.
about, what about you, Tread? What do you like about predictive or reactive?
I mean, I definitely like the more tools you give me, the better, right? I think we'll have different specs that lean one way or the other for all kinds of different clerics. Obviously, as everyone knows, our class system will, you'll be able to like pick your class based on primary and sub archetype, and different classes will lean into different directions. Some will be more predictive, and when we say predictive, like we're usually talking like
I do like.
like hots and stuff.
I think it's
It'll
real
be a lot
heavy on
more,
healing abilities right now, but I do like how this
or
Or
third
like
or
pre-shielding,
Yeah,
or-
pre-shielding.
He is
that
kinda
kind
only
of
using,
thing,
like,
whereas like reactive is going to be a
4
lot more like
abilities here.
instant heals that might
I want him to
be
do
less
that
efficient,
AoE
but
one.
more adaptable to certain
I forget which one it was called. Ship
Get
3.
me up, Steven.
I got you.
You got me.
I got you.
You're getting
I got
you're getting that full deliverance value there.
I think there's a bug on my targeting. I think I'm like the target switches off of you for some reason.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Well, I see you're throwing in some condemns there, weren't you? You were stunning the
Shh. Yeah, I was doing a little bit of
Yeah.
I was trying
Nice.
to help out.
That's
on
good.
the
I like when healers
DPS
can help with the DPS and the
control.
healing's light.
Do we want to grab?
We
these
have to
guys?
now.
I was not gonna go this way, but okay.
Oh. Okay, wait.
We can
Okay,
do it. We can do
just-
it. Just sleep the
No,
back.
no, we
leg.
got it. Yeah, back
Sleep
up.
a couple of
sleep,
bonus
sleep
in
him,
there,
sleep him.
but don't
Nice
AoE.
sleep. Nice sleep. Oh, sleep.
Well done.
Huge
well
sleep.
done.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
we got
sneak
this.
around, but we can just blast
No,
to the
no.
front door. Why not?
We need to show off our ability.
Yes.
Maybe sleep again? Oh,
So a little late
nope.
on this.
10
decent
But if I
cooldown.
pull as a healer and
Sorry, you're doing some
should
good
I-
kiting.
all right,
I
let's
am
be
totally
honest. Here.
kiting these guys.
Let's be honest.
I got a couple. I got
You
3 of them, I
enjoy.
think.
All right, sleeping.
I'm not going to
healer-
kick you
healers
right
will be
away, but
generating
if it's a
threat,
repetitive
like-
action,
I see
We're
those
gonna
dice and you're
have
healing, so
a
I'm going after you. It's taking me a bit of effort to.
I'm going to get
Get them
real,
off you.
real tired
I
quick
believe in you.
because I have kicked people out of my main raiding groups because they could not,
Let's see if I can
for the
sleep
life of them,
or stun
not
that
walk
guy.
forward and just not pull them out.
drink my last health potion.
And if you pull bosses, we're going to have a shit show.
I got you.
I used to have to punish. I hate saying this, but I used to have to
Yeah.
punish everyone. Where if they wanted to get into the raid
Oh,
groups,
perfect.
they would have to pay.
Here, I'll give you blessed weapon too.
This
so
was
you
for
can run away.
SWTOR.
Oh, nice.
They would have to pay to get
Yeah, I'll
in,
put them
and
up.
if they were good, they got all the money back and then all the loot and everything.
Whew.
If they were
Right.
bad, I
Look
took
at that.
some of their
Easy
money,
peasy lemon
depending on how
squeezy.
bad it was, and I put it into
Winter
the
chicken
guild bank
dinner.
for like repairs
Any
and
other
stuff.
types of sayings you want to add to that?
I
performance?
Not
don't
even
want to
close,
have to do
baby.
that.
Yes, thank you.
I don't. The guild bank was full though.
Great
I'll
job.
tell you that much.
Yeah, well done. I didn't even get to do my like wings of salvation jump to and boom.
Oh, very good.
Look at that.
Such a good combo.
It's clean,
So-
clean kill.
Yeah, we can just go. You know, we were gonna sneak around. Actually,
Yeah.
let's do sneak around. I want to sneak. I
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Little,
I think no. Stop.
Wait, there's
Okay,
more.
where
There's
we
more
at? Where we
wolves.
at?
There's more wolves.
there we go.
For the love of God,
One
Steven.
at a time. One step at a time here.
I
Don't-
just
don't do
praised
anything
you.
after.
I get all crazy here.
No, we're good. We're good. Yeah, let me just sleep this wolf over here, or not sleep, but
Just put him down.
oops, that was an accident. That's an F. I think I just
Got another
used
wolf
a.
spawn too.
Okay, there we go. That's not too bad.
All right, come down this way.
Okay, let's go this way.
Yep.
The side entrance.
We didn't have to do any of that.
Oh.
So I get one freebie every week.
farming.
That's
Then
all we use it
how
for.
else
Yes,
would
you
we
get-
not?
everybody
how else would
gets
we
one.
farm?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Trad,
we got
come on,
some
bro.
extra-
One.
we got some loot, maybe.
I have to,
Ooh,
I
this
have
is
to
cool.
put that
There's
out
like
there.
a back entrance. All right. I
Yeah, let's
see.
get around the main
Alright.
gate. I think we can sneak around
We
these
should be
guys.
careful.
too.
Yeah, we should be careful in this area though, because we might get aggro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know this. I feel like we can probably pull a little bit extra and see just how much we can tax this healer. What do you guys think?
All right. I'll pull these 3 up here and maybe that 4th one.
All right. There
Let's
you go.
do
Give you a
it.
little bit of potential heals.
Oh God, there's a wolf.
Wolf on me.
Okay, wolf
Oh,
on
morph
you.
through the
Well, I
gate.
pulled a lot.
Oh, this is gonna be
Okay,
good.
I'm gonna stun the
trouble.
wolf.
Nice.
Drop
nice.
the
All
wolf
right, I'm
first.
taking some heals.
Wreck that wolf.
Why are you going by the sleep ones?
What are we doing next?
Stay away,
I'll
Steven.
get aggro on
Focus
these two
fire,
guys.
focus fire. Yeah. Try to AoE if you can.
Oh,
AoE it all down. Big AoE. I do a trip.
I'm doing a delayed heal.
I don't know if that was well played at all.
Yes, maximum AoE power.
Blizzard time.
Are you doing the wave attack too? Yeah.
Yes.
That one's so good. Oh, we got
There's
it.
a delayed heal.
Nice. I'm getting all the value out of it. Try to get out.
Some judgment. Okay.
I thought they were dead. I really did. And that ball is scaring me. It's going towards other things.
Nice. We got it. Easy.
Rule 1,
That
run
was
from
super
team together.
easy.
Right.
Either that or I'm just a
keep running,
literal
too.
god of a
Run
healer.
through your raid
Probably
group.
isn't.
Run
You're
through
good.
all the
You're using the
mobs
full
while you're
kit.
at it.
Thank you. Here, have a barrier.
For that compliment.
A little laggy there.
Alright.
All right. So I think we just gotta go up through
Good job, team.
here. Yeah. Great
Well
job.
done.
Great job.
I've got one more.
We need to have a discussion with world design for this population. I mean, it's not challenging.
Not challenging.
Yeah.
Double it.
You have 100 Minotaurs in here.
Double it. Respawn rate 10 seconds.
Here, I'll do another group here.
Oh yeah. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
pull them all.
These
Pull them
guys
all.
Don't break.
If I can grab that.
Oh,
Do it.
Sorry. My bad. I just trust. I
Oh
trust now.
no.
No.
Bucky,
just try.
Bucky's not doing well.
I have full faith in my healer.
I bought some additional mobs.
Okay.
Oh god.
I knew they were gonna
Oh
pull too
my
much
God.
off.
We're getting a little cocky here.
Yeah, run down the mobs.
He's
No, we're good.
Oh my
flew too
god.
close to the sun.
2 seconds on sleep.
Okay.
Alright, sleep coming out now.
All right. I think.
Steven, heal yourself.
Nice, nice. All right, there we go. Okay. Back it up.
Okay, helping myself.
Oh yeah, they're on you. Trying to get them off you.
Steven, where you going? Steven, where you
I'm
going?
dying.
Where are you?
I'm running a little bit.
I think they're off you.
Do your AoE, Steven.
Okay, I'm not
AoE
healing you
heal
again.
/ damage.
I need some huge heals. Oh, I'm using my tank cooldown. Let's take
I'm
additional
using the
healing.
divine infusion.
Oh yes. Perfect.
Quick heal, Steven. Has Steven used his HOTS at all? The number 3 ability?
I'm healing myself. My mana is definitely going down.
We got this. We're almost gonna kill
Almost
them.
gonna-
Come on. Let me put down these chains.
Okay, that was probably very
Healing
helpful
myself
with the
again.
chains right there.
Sleep again. Stay on the rain collar. Or the left rain collar, I guess.
Okay, I'll stay on a rain collar.
I'm
One
gonna
of the
stun
3
this
rain-
other rain collar.
We got it now.
I am completely
Oh no.
All right, we made it.
Bucky is not.
We
Bucky's
did it.
not making it. What are you
I'm
talking
running.
about?
I'm running.
I'll do the killing blow on this guy.
I'm running.
Wait, what are you running for?
Okay. I was at 60 health, and they're still. Okay, we got it.
Oh, that's some good teamwork there. Good teamwork. See, I knew that people played MMOs.
That was epic.
That was pretty epic.
That's some good pulls here.
That was pretty fun. That was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed that as a healer. That was a oh shit moment, and there were
Yeah.
many oh shit buttons for me to press.
We were talking about this mana not being balanced, but I think that was pretty good. Like, you ran out of mana just right at the end of that fight.
I think the mana should run out all a little
First
sooner.
pass.
Not too bad. Now we're
Pro
gonna talk to
gamers in the
Splinter.
chat.
Pro gamers.
Gosh, dude.
See, and everybody says I am a crazy player. There's just not, Oh, okay. Climb on top of this tent here. Okay, we're good. This guy's kind of cool. What is he doing? Hello, friend.
Splint.
Splint, talk to me. Nobody mentioned locking horns with minotaurs. Oh, okay. We need to
Okay.
unlock a chest. He's not budging. Here, take the key. All right, I've gotten the key.
Okay, nice. I think the chest is in the main building somewhere.
So yeah, let's go down here.
Do you want to
Okay.
At that.
should we just even rest a little bit? You're still pretty low on mana.
I would be down to rest.
Well, we should probably go this way.
I guess I think we'll probably
before
run through here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get inside the
Where are we
building.
going? Where are we going?
Inside the building
All
here.
right.
Follow me.
Oh, that's right. We don't really even need to. Let's see if we can just. Since we cleared this whole area, I wonder if we can.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone
Yeah.
in here.
I think we gotta go down this little area.
Oh,
down
it's
here?
nice and dark
In
in
the
here.
in the
okay.
crypts.
Secret basement.
You told me there's not any mobs down here.
Let me give us some light. Hold on. I gotta give us some light.
Very nice. I
Good
got
job.
some good.
Yeah, very
Follow
nice.
the lights.
Follow the
Oh.
light.
Here it is.
Ooh.
I'm gonna laugh if it's a
So
mimic.
working together with
And just
Splint
eat
and Bandit
Steven.
here.
Wait, hold on. I wonder what happens if I put this shield on you while you have your shield on.
I got
Ooh.
I got 15 seconds on it.
double shield.
Double shield.
Switching it out of the chest.
Hey, that was cool. It let loose this massive explosion. What did that do?
I think we're working together with Splint to activate this
find an
ancient
entrance.
chest.
Steven even update the
to-
quest?
I think we're awakening some.
Oh yeah, I
old
saw the no
spirits
fall ban.
in This place to try to drive out the Minotaurs. I think that's the plan here.
Oh, this
So-
is beautiful.
That was a hell of a jump for not a
Yeah,
broken
what's the
ankle.
next part of the quest? We have to light the signal fire, light the brazier.
I'm running up
Oh wait, we
into
lost you.
this area. Uh-oh. Where'd you guys go?
Steven, oh there you are. Look to your left.
There.
Where?
Over here.
Oh. Hey, how do I get over there?
Oh, actually, yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. There we go.
I'm gonna go
Yeah, the
upstairs.
final game, this whole area is gonna be filled with
Oh,
mobs.
nice.
Like there's
This is beautiful. Environment did a great job.
no way that this is gonna be wide open.
Zachary and Tristan and
Yeah, looks really great. It's
Brendan.
cool to explore.
Did a great job. Beautiful. Oh, look at
Oh,
this.
there it is.
What are you doing?
Well, this was a cool little incursion into. Oh, look at this!
Oh, the zombies.
We have lit the beacon, and the zombies have overtaken the Minotaurs.
Oh my
They're
God.
still Minotaur corpses.
God, dude, we missed the bloodshed.
I think we did all the work.
Ooh.
Yeah,
we
true.
did
To
do
be
all the
honest, these
work.
zombies shouldn't.
So
get
wait. There's bandits.
That's super cool.
Minotaurs
Very cool.
kicked them
Well,
out.
guys, I
and
hope you
whatever
all
you just
enjoyed
did
this
made zombies
brief look
appear?
at the update. Well, not brief, but look at the update of the Cleric archetype and what you'll be
Okay.
expecting in Alpha 2. Obviously, your feedback is incredibly important to us. Please keep in mind, everything is a work in progress, and we use your feedback as part of our iteration process.
And then on Minotaur
So
zombies.
if you can give us your thoughts and
What
what
the
you
hell?
enjoyed, what you thought could be done better, in the YouTube video or in Twitch or everywhere else, we will go through that and we will take a look. But we have enjoyed showing this. Bucky and Trad, thank you guys for joining me. Very cool, very fun. And I thought
My
you guys did a
pleasure.
great job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. GG.
All right, we'll see you guys
do it.
back on stream.
I'm going in. Ah!
No!
Bandit hired
Let me jump to you.
Get rid of cows. Pretty much.
Come here. Wait. There it is.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
Boom!
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Let's
that
get
was
these zombies.
great.
I like how the
guys.
zombies are like actually slow chasing it. It's like Dawn of the Dead zombies. Not very quick. Maybe not Dawn of the Dead.
Woohoo! Seems like y'all very much enjoyed that from looking at the chat
Yes.
screen. I am going to play it in the background whilst we chat and answer
Oh,
some
it's a
questions.
freehold update.
from,
Freehold
We
updates.
noticed that we want to make sure that you guys get to get answered. And the first one here is, will AoE and action heals also heal raid and alliance members?
AoE action heals depending on the type. That's a broad description. But
Yeah.
depending on the type, if it's like a templated AoE, yes, it would heal any non-combatants essentially. Yes.
All right. And then the next question is, can you walk through all the ways that clerics can target and heal, like F keys and things like that? Because we noticed that you were clicking on targets and stuff like that. So like people just want to know what are the ways that I can heal as a cleric? A lot of people like hover casting and things like that.
Yeah, there's going to be a pretty expansive functionality when it comes to the
I hope
different
so.
types of targeting methods. That's something that's
I just
still
wanna
being
put my
kind of
tank as,
worked
like, a
on
focus
and,
target.
will be included kind of later in the
Like
iteration
a quick
phases from the combat team.
select.
The idea is that we are expansive as possible in that type of control schema, and that we leave it to the player to decide option-wise which ones they want to use.
Perfect. I knew that was going to be it.
Is
People have
Mark
also been
running a
asking
new
about
room?
smart casting specifically. That was a very one that people are interested in, but yes, we'll give you options.
Yes.
Revive spell. If someone
and
dies.
one other thing,
Yeah,
by the
go
way,
ahead.
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
On those additional options, we're also playing with a secondary targeting type where you can have a friendly target active as well as an enemy or main target active. So if you have duality in skills, like some that are offensive and some that are defensive, we're going to be testing that, I think, as part of Alpha 2. Most likely as part of Alpha 2, where you get to use that defensive targeting mechanism.
Yeah, people wanted like to be able to do target of target things. I mean, it's pretty common for MMOs. So I did already respond about that in the chat. I was like, we're gonna add more features like that. Don't worry. Revive spell. Obviously, that's like a big thing. Everyone keeps bringing up. You know, someone dies. For instance, you accidentally nuked one of your companions.
I didn't accidentally nuke
him.
him.
You
He
purposely
told
nuked
me
them.
that he would be prevented from dying and would get 25% of his health
but not
back.
through the GM command. That overrides everything.
He didn't specify that, so you know it is what it is. No, we there are resurrection abilities. We didn't showcase them here because we haven't yet stood those up. They're relatively direct. We're not going to do anything too fancy there. We have the ideas of including certain types of like mass resurrections, individual resurrections that have recuperation for dead experience that gets accrued. That is going to be a part of the resurrection aspect of things. There is one ability here that prevents death, and that was that one that we showed where Bucky died because I nuked him. But yes, there are resurrection abilities.
Yes. And then, can you move while casting every ability? Are there some you cannot move while casting? They saw you moving a lot while casting, and obviously that's something that's a big.
That is a fair point.
That is a fair point. While casting.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of abilities you have the capability of moving while casting. It's going to decrease your movement speed significantly, or depending on the type of ability. We do reserve the cost, and that's really what it is when you tie ability usage to mobility. We do reserve the cost of requiring the character to remain stationary on some ability, some big effect type abilities. So it's just spread out amongst the kits. Some are going to be mobile, some are going to be completely mobile where there's no restriction and no slowdown. Some are going to be completely restrictive where you can't move. It's a balancing act between what cost versus benefit we want to have conferred through the effect of the ability.
Yeah, if they're rooting you for a spell, that spell's gonna do something good.
Gonna do something.
Yeah. How are skills acquired during
They just
leveling? Can you walk
someone
through
spits it out
how
at you,
ability
like what?
will work?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of games in the past we've a lot of games in the past that we've played have this kind of skill point allocation system that you acquire through experience gain, and you take those skill points and you spec them into your skill tree. We're going to follow a relatively similar path when it comes to skill progression. However, that's likely not going to be tied directly to experience gain because we do have this concept of experience debt that does accrue, and we don't want to create an imbalance between skill points acquired versus experience. So we're going to predicate your skill acquisition, the skill points acquisition, based on benchmarks you reach when leveling through a level, right? So these are going to be at specific points in the level, like 1/4 progress to half
How many
progress
points
to
are you going to
3/4
get?
progress. You're going to get an influx of skill points, and then you'll be able to allocate them into your
That's a
skill tree.
lot of points if they're going to do it that way.
All right. And then can I change the theme of my cleric? Like if I want it to be more dark spells or nature themed, is that an option?
So that's really where the secondary class option, which creates your class, right? The primary archetype, not so much. That's relatively going to be more based around the player's decisions in which skills they spec into in the skill tree, not being able to change the skills themselves. But when you reach the class phase, which is around level 25, and you introduce that secondary archetype selection to create your one of 64 classes, then you'll have a number of augments that you'll be able to apply on a per ability basis. And your core ability kit comes from your primary archetype selection. And those augments will change the look and feel of those abilities. And some will have the effect to create more darker thematic aspects to it, or just generally different aesthetics to the abilities that represent the secondary class selection.
Archetype selection.
Archetype, sorry, yes.
All right, that's good. I gotta visualize that.
I know.
And then, does the cleric resource make offensive spells instant cast? And yes, they do. But I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's any cast effect that you have. And that's, one of the concerns about that particular energy mechanic that I had, and that, I expressed to the team, is like how we balance whether or not that gets applied to pretty much any ability, because it is a bit of a subversion in the balancing act. You want to kind of have minimum thresholds that players must meet in order to confer an effect on a target. And so there's some concern there, but that's something we're going to play test and balance out throughout Alpha 2. But
we were having a lot of fun.
Effect.
We did some PvP fun earlier in the week, and Steven and Bucky and Trad were battling me, Adam, and Nat, and it was super fun.
That was a lot of fun.
And later with Keenan. It is cool.
But it wasn't fair because you guys were CCing me, and we haven't yet introduced CC breaks into the kits, and I was just like,
that's
wait a minute.
True. So what we did, giving Strat, right? Like our mage slept Steven, and then I stunned Trad, and then we just blew Trad up. And I saved up my healing instant spell for my judgment, so I could just do like this massive nuke. Pretty awesome.
At this time, they've never said
if you
CC
cringe. That's true.
I mean, I would call it strats, but
if I needed the CC break abilities, we didn't yet have those ready.
That's true. Being able to break CCs is awesome.
So it just fluffs up the spell.
There is some strategy, there's fun, and even with the ability kits that we currently have, we're having a lot of fun with.
That's something that I gotta play.
Then the next question, I think the last one we have here, and we can move forward on to the next stuff. It's been a long stream already. Is how much of the cleric kit will be damage focused rather than healing? Because I saw you mostly casting healing spells whilst.
There are absolutely going to be, and we talked a little bit about this. There's going to be a significant amount of offensive capability for the cleric, because we don't want to create that dynamic where cleric as a support class is inoperable without a companion or a party to go with, right? We want that cleric to still be able to survive on their own, to be able to level and progress as a solo player. And so because of that, there's going to be healthy combinations of offensive abilities. But when we talk about the current, current archetype development, we focus right now on this phase around core role, right? So we're talking about what is the core role for this particular archetype within the Trinity system. And that really focuses around support-oriented gameplay. So you saw some offensive abilities, some support abilities have dual purpose, dual functionality, depending on the target recipient. That could be offensive or defensive. You might see that excuse me, you might see that expressed more as we develop out the archetype further. But the idea is to create a healer archetype that is not entirely dependent on companion or party, which means they'll have offensive capabilities.
Yeah, and like I said, we were able to do some big damage. Like, you can still do decent damage as a cleric. You just have to know which skills to use and utilize them in coordination with other folks. And also, there's synergy, right? Like, I can put a buff, like a debuff on the mob that then the mage can also exploit, which is really handy. So there's a lot of like things like that.
Which I don't think Steven ever uses.
And not only that, but remember that a big component, which is probably one of the more significant distinguishments between Ashes of Creation's combat systems and what we were experiencing in other MMOs, is that the weapon gameplay is a big component of synergy between your rotational archetype abilities and the weapon combo attacks. So you'll often find that a lot of your offensive power from perhaps the more support-oriented class roles is going to be found with interactions with their weapon combo as well.
All right. Cool. And that's it for the questions that we saw in the chat that, like, I feel like community side, we can answer all the other ones.
Yeah, equipment 2 and sword.
But, so keep sending us our thoughts. Vagnar and Roshan are great about responding to folks.
Beat on people with it.
Peter over on social. We do our best. We're a small but mighty team, but we interact with as many people as possible. There is a thread over on the forums. Head on over, give us some feedback on the cleric. We would love to know your thoughts. I don't know, Stephen, if you want to add any additional. I know you talked about it in the other bit there, like what you're looking for feedback.
Absolutely. Just real quick, this video will be uploaded on YouTube within the next hour or two tops, I would say, in its full 4K glory. And when you guys are thinking about the types of feedback that you can provide us, tempo of gameplay, the distribution and types of effects conferred from the abilities, in addition to the mechanics of the combat and the encounter itself, and the synergies with other classes. Obviously, you don't need to give me feedback on my gameplay. I know that it really couldn't have been better than it was, and that was probably the best cleric gameplay you've ever seen.
Do you want to give them some preface too? Stephen just had eye surgery. Don't
excuse.
Give the man a break.
No. I think when it mattered and we got into the oh shit moments, I pulled off that
barely,
Stephen, right? Yeah. And I hover over the abilities because I forget what the icons are associated with the class. So, anyways, you don't need to comment on my glorious gameplay. I already know you all love it. That's fine. Keep that out of the commentary.
That's why I was trying to give them I was trying to tell them there is strategy to abilities. You just gotta use them in a certain way.
I love it.
Yeah, he doesn't need feedback on his gameplay. Just we want to know about the combat and the abilities and what you guys' thoughts are.
Any feedback you want is all good.
He needs his own forum thread for every
We sift through the comments.
Just for combat.
We make sure the reports that we're putting forward to our team are really useful. They seem to like them. They love your guys' feedback and your suggestions. So please send them our way. They're a lot of fun to read through as well. And with that, we're going to
so far
we're showing active development at the time that things are being developed, and because of that, you're not going to see the parts that have yet to be worked on, which is polish pass, optimization pass. All of those things come at the end of the development cycle because things may change more heavily during development than they might when it's ready for a polish phase, right? And so we try to get everything kind of nailed down and all the iteration stuff done as much as we can possibly during that development phase before we go in and actually polish it. Now, because we're a transparent development process, obviously the things that we want to show, we do dial up a little bit further than normal, perhaps across the rest of our systems and core pillars and designs in the world. And that's acceptable. There's a little bit of risk there when it comes to like the loss of work potential. If things do need to change, animations might change, because you have to think about it from a pipeline perspective. If animations change, VFX has to adapt, audio effects has to adapt, right? Those things, the timing has to kind of get changed, especially when it comes to ability production. So just keep that in mind as you're giving this feedback.
Yeah, all the teams that have to work after the pipeline of something being like that, or like the support, like sound effects, VFX, like it's a lot. But our teams are awesome. They're badasses, as you can see. We have a very small character art update.
All right,
so
let's speed
I'm
through
gonna
it.
just be showing
Q&A.
a couple things
Q&A.
here. And so you can see the tarnished Sky Raiders set here.
Beautiful.
Looking beautiful. And I do have a turntable for this as well. I'll play that.
It looks like a Thor, kind of. Looks okay.
Very nice. Who worked on this?
This one was Danny.
Danny.
Always have that prepared now.
Yeah, I love the chain links there.
No, I'm not a fan of that style, but you know what? If you like it, it looks really good. You want your
trim around the
Thor Valkyrie wings on your head and stuff.
Great. And then we've got the ambitious academic set, and we're showing it off on the VEC, which we know everyone always is asking about the VEC. So
do they all have Hunchback?
At this one.
You know, don't look at the VEC and think that they're devious or that
no, they're star.
They're up to no good. This is just how they are as a society, right?
Evil.
They're inspective.
Yep, more bright colors, she gets stabbed more than
up, right? And they're determining what they should think of you. They're very suspicious culture. The division between the Renkai and the VEC was not a very happy and peaceful one. So something to keep in mind.
It'll be interesting to see. Now you're going to have VEC and Renkai people battling it out, RPing. Steven, look what you've started, another war.
It's in the past.
It's in the past. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, the lore is pretty exciting stuff. So I know people will love hearing a little tidbit about that. And we've gotten a lot of feedback in regards to some people not liking the hunched stance, but honestly, it's kind of and there's some people who like it. So it's like
you got to think. You got to think when you start playing with poses, right?
Yeah.
Why do you do that? From a art perspective, when you want to give players a distance preview threat assessment of the opponents they might be facing, especially in a PvP game. Silhouettes matter, and the shape language of that silhouette is a little bit difficult sometimes to distinguish between races that share similar head height. And so one of the ways you can break that shape language or silhouette up is by incorporating different stances,
I get the logic.
different
animations I just don't like it.
that can confer the threat assessment or the idea of what that race is at a distance amongst races of similar head height. And so I think this plays well to the VEC, to their creature model. And it gives them a bit of character, right?
Yeah,
to the way that
I think that all of our races have a lot of characteristics to them, and hopefully people enjoy them. So far, it seems like people do. There's little bits of feedback here and there from folks. And with that, we're going to head on over to Q&A.
Favorite time.
I'll play the video a little bit more as well, so you guys have something to look at whilst we are chatting here and answering some wonderful questions from the forums. Oh, actually, do you want to do studio update first? Do you have like a few things that you want to talk about on that front?
Summer's been in full swing. Studio is continuing to grow. We're having a plethora of wonderful candidates that are joining. We did finish our our milestone last at the beginning of this month, where we had a lot of internal play testing. All of that play testing was phenomenal to see within the studio. And you know, as you can see, combat is making a significant strides forward across these different archetypes, which we'll be getting additional play testing around, and you guys will see more updates to in the future. Nodes was previously planned as the as the showcase for this month. But those of you who have been following along on Discord and socials and forums, you'll know that got pushed to next month. The team required a little bit more time to bake that presentation,
That's fine.
so that we're able
Cleric
to
one was
topics
a
we want to
pretty
cover.
good
And
update, so
yeah,
pretty
otherwise,
unacceptable. Or it is
Awesome to
acceptable.
hear. That's what we like to hear. Now we'll move on to the Q&A. I was just trying to make sure you guys got your bingo card. Cheating, I know. All right, moving on
Let's
to
do this.
our Q&A here. I will get you something to watch while we do it. So the first one here is from Norcor, who wants to know about data mining. Will some kind of technology be utilized to delay data mining? Example, holding assets / data on the servers instead of clients and only streaming it to the clients on demand?
Yeah, within our architectures, there are some plans for us to kind of mitigate as much as possible the data mining to a degree, but ultimately there's just going to be some amount of information that's not possible to be kept from data mining.
Yeah.
However, we do have some plans in place to help mitigate that.
Also, for people who don't know about the bingo card, you need to join our Discord if you haven't joined it yet. They have lots of great conversations over there, a little trolly sometimes, but that's MMO community.
Do you win anything for the bingo card?
No, it's just fun, They try to predict what's going to be in the stream. And if they get like a bingo, it's...
They should keep tabs of each month of the winners of the bingo or something.
Yeah, like a whole list. I told them when I'm 80, I still want them to be doing the bingo card because I think it's fun.
Nice.
I want to be like 80 on like the 100th Ashes of Creation virtual game where we're like locked in. No, I'm just kidding.
By that time we're launched.
Yeah, we're launched, and we're also making like a whole nother game. And now it's like you are in a suit and in the world. No. Ace1234 wants to know about NPC interactions. Can you influence NPCs or mobs when interacting with them by using your knowledge of their unique personalities / routines, lore, or general knowledge of the world state?
We haven't planned for any type of like branching dialogue personalities that give insight to those types of things, and I don't believe that's
I was just thinking
for our narrative design.
Totally different.
There is, however, some potential faction.
One of the Kickstarter items that they did a long time ago
might send
was for like parlor games.
Behavior trees.
They're going to have a whole stream, a whole month stream just of parlor games.
That isn't
the whole stream.
If I understand the question,
just how to play their in-universe parlor games.
Catering specific dialogue responses that will send down different dialogue branches, and that's not planned.
Okay. And then Roni Scipone, I always love your name, wants to know about weapons. Will there be any weapons that heal or buff allies rather than dealing damage?
Yeah, actually, we were one of the weapons that was as part of the Cleric's development process here for this latest iteration of the archetype was a weapon.
You know it too. You know they're going to do a whole parlor game stream.
So I'll leave.
And of course, it's going to be like
that until
poker
gets further developed, and I can give definitive answers along those paths. But
I
it is
don't
something
know.
that the design
Blackjack.
has been looking at. Yes.
And then they're going to make up some of their own board game or card game.
What can you share about the organizations and
Relay.
layout that surrounds and supports the cleric archetype?
One of the probably biggest delineations from your standard trope in MMORPGs is that the cleric does not receive their powers from a divine source, at least not in the sense that is standard. It is still something that is tied intrinsically to the use and manipulation of the essence as a source of magic. Now, the source of that essence is up to question. There are some claims about it that might apply divine interaction, but generally it's not as though you're being imbued by these powers from the gods and that the gods can take them away should you step out of line in your alignment. Like that's the more tropey,
kind of annoying, but yeah,
esque approach,
like Paladin Oath vibes.
Correct.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, that's an element I think of the cleric that's probably been misunderstood or hasn't been expressed.
And there will be more lore that you will explore throughout the world. We don't want to give you it all, you know?
Yes, very true.
There's gonna be a lot
Our
of
next
lore.
one here is from Castai, who
Yeah,
wants to know about
exciting.
armor pieces. How often will
What a
armor be
pitch
part
that-
of an entire armor set with other cosmetically matching pieces versus unique armor pieces that don't
Yeah, I think I'd
match
skip
or
that
go
stream,
along
honestly.
with anything else in the game? So, for instance, there's a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
games
yeah.
where you go collect all the pieces and now they match. Will there be,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, a balance of both?
There is a balance of both set pieces and non-set pieces. And usually you're going to see at higher grades within a tier are going to be more predominantly set driven, and the lower interstitial power levels of the gear for that tier are the potentially bespoke pieces. And you know, obviously those pieces are catered around a number of different interactions, such as ones you get from quests, ones that you get from drops, ones that you can craft, ones that you get from legendary bosses, ones that you get from guild-oriented tasks or in-game favor and unique currencies. So there's different types of acquisition models, and each of them has a spattering of either bespoke pieces or set-oriented pieces. And there are
Set
even varying
pieces.
levels of set pieces as well. So you might have a full, 8-piece set or a 3-piece set or a 5-piece set, depending on where it lives within.
I hate set pieces. I hate
And
it.
then Bernie7 and Dev Mage, we had two people who are kind of asking this question. It's about cleric gameplay. How are you trying to balance the cleric in regards to group play versus solo content while still keeping the archetype fun?
Yeah, so we touched a little bit on this earlier, which is that we don't want to create an archetype that's GIMP when it comes to soloing, which means that it needs to have a well-rounded kit that's capable of sufficing from a solo gameplay perspective, but also is fun, dynamic, and fulfills its role within a party setting. And so what that means is really it's left to the agency of the player to kind of spec into the skill trees that is most relevant to their type of gameplay. So if you want to go harder into the more support-oriented, group-focused skills, you're going to allocate skill points into that aspect of the tree. If you're tending to be more of a solo-esque player, not necessarily fulfilling your role within a party setting, you can focus in more on the ability kit that gives you access to those single target DPSs and solo gameplay oriented skills. So
Yeah, especially as you're moving into your secondary
Oddly
archetype.
quiet after all the storms we had roll through here yesterday.
And the secondary archetype really just opens the lid on the types of customization options that the player has access to, further allowing them to spec towards either solo gameplay or group-oriented gameplay, now incorporating aspects and elements of the other archetypes as part of that design. But we haven't gotten into that yet because Alpha 2 really is focused around the base archetypes and how they fulfill their roles, or their, what we expect players want to have from a class fantasy perspective. And then once we've kind of mastered that element, we take that into the augment section and we start allocating effects that resemble the schools of those base archetypes across the class structure.
It's going to be exciting. That's going to be when the fun really, really starts. And Dillium wants to know about freehold sieges. Following a successful siege of a node, will there be any players that are not allowed to attack/defend freeholds of that node, such as players who didn't participate in the siege? And kind of to give you context here, Stephen, there has been discussion in regards to like freeloaders, basically people who aren't part of the siege but now can go in and like steal things from the freeholds. People don't feel like that's necessarily fair.
We've talked a little bit about in the past.
Yeah, that's kind of shitty for a fun
that
game.
Gets iterated on, but I will give you guys insight
we
to the
get rolling storms here for like
will help inform
8 hours. We
the
had hail.
we choose when we go through iteration and testing.
7 stores or something like that went down in my area last night, and they all came. They were all up by whatever time this morning.
Or desirable, I guess. To have certain players who would refuse to participate in an event and instead wait to see the outcome and then choose the side which they want to participate, especially when you think about node sieges, creating an aftermath of an open world battlegrounds, essentially in the ruins, where there are a number of resources and or loot and spoils that can be acquired or salvaged depending on if you're the attacker or defending side. one of the ideas we've thought about is it's potentially possible that for that event, either Castle Siege or Node Sieges, you would have a ladder of participation KPI, right? Like, participation stats. And in those participation stats, you would say that the top 100 or the top 200 players have access to the open world battlegrounds in order to recover the spoils, the loot, or recovery. That's a potential thing that we can incorporate as well if we feel that the objective of the system, which is player participation, the outcome and reward phases and the gameplay loops that are incorporated with that, are not necessarily being done in a manner that is intended, right? In addition to that, you could be less selective in the latter and more geared towards just those who were online and or participating within the event on the attacker or defender side and made a choice there too. So there's a lot of different dials and levers that we can kind of play with to adjust the system so that we're getting the outcome we want, which is essentially player participation. And that includes both incentives as well as
tiered quality.
So to kind of recap,
if
that's something that you guys are going to play with.
Hit a certain number of whatever
what the final decision
performance.
So if you have
I like merit pay.
As we put these things
better
into place,
performance, better
feedback,
reward.
definitely send us your feedback on that front. The next one here is from Thumbs, and they want to know about freehold taxes. What will happen if a freehold owner doesn't log in for a while, but has the money in their account to pay for the debt and taxes associated with their freehold? Will money be automatically withdrawn to pay debts, or will they foreclose their place?
Yeah, we've talked about this also in the past on the design side of whether or not we want to allow people to kind of either prepay taxes or if we want to allow them to deduct the tax payment from a warehouse facility or storage facility or off the character itself. We have a few different thoughts on this. We're going to be playing with this a little bit in Alpha 2 as well. I will say that the desire of the system is not that people would lose or default on the taxes owed due to just kind of missing the payment time if they're gone for a week or something. So there will be a mechanism either by which they can prepay or by which the system will deduct from a location designated by the player, either inventory.
Just take it from the inventory. It's fine.
And then Davey Wavy wants to know about family systems.
Or a bank.
Are you open to the idea of removing the family system if Alpha 2 feedback suggests it? Or is it something that is in the game for good regardless of feedback?
Okay, so let me answer this more broadly. There are elements of the game design that are core to the game itself. Those core designs will never change. Aspects of the core functionality that's intended may be tweaked and changed. The family system is not a core pillar of Ashes. And so, like many systems in Ashes, the purpose of these alphas and testing periods and us even having these monthly demonstrations where we're showcasing current directionality and development is so that when players give feedback, we parse through that, we identify how it might conflict with our core pillars and philosophies to iterate and make changes based on the player feedback, and what systems it might ripple effect through before making iterative changes, right?
Makes sense.
And so to ask a question such as, will you be open to feedback on a particular system should the community give it? The answer is always going to be yes. So you don't have to ask that question. The question that should be asked is, if feedback from the community is contrary to the game's philosophy and core pillars, will you change the identity of the game to match what a either loud minority or majority of players are looking for? And that is where Ashes of Creation will never yield its intent to develop a game that answers the call of what our core philosophies and systems are attempting to accomplish. And there are lots of different games out there for different people, and that's acceptable. So I don't want us to use the excuse of, well, I've provided this feedback about, a PVX game. I don't think PvE and PvP can live together in a game. Therefore, they should change that aspect of the game. That'll never be a thing that changes because
we are
one
a PVX game. We will have
PVX
PvP.
game. Correct. We are a PVX game, and I just want to make sure I'm delineating between the two because this often comes up, and I often see
it comes up
say,
a lot, especially when we showcase PvP of any sort. It comes
correct.
up.
And so we need to make sure. Look, We're doing our due diligence as a company who provides a service to consumers to tell them upfront what we're making and to show them along the way what's being made, how it's being made, the progress towards that making, right? Those are things that we should all, as consumers, expect of any company that's out there in the market trying to make a consumer-driven product. And so because of that, we're doing our part there. Your part needs to understand, as a viewer, as a consumer, also that some things just might not be for me, and that's okay. And there are other products out there that offer the things that I want, and I will go there. That is an acceptable thing to think about. But regardless,
and maybe someday down the line, we'll create a product for those people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we got to do this one first.
Margaret really wants to make another game.
The gaming industry is a huge industry, and there's a lot of cool opportunities to tell a story in a very different way. Right? And Ashes of Creation is intending to be a very rich IP and a very rich story that has the potential to be told across many different mediums and media. And right now, our flagship product is this MMORPG, and we believe that we've identified a particular space within the consumer market that wants this type of IP and this type of product that we're developing, and we're going to stick to our guns when we create it.
Fair enough, Stephen. Right. Fair enough.
And our final question here is from Diggs, and they want to know about purchasing freeholds. When it comes to buying a freehold, it was said a player would need to be level 50. Is that adventurer level 50 or artisan level 50?
That is adventurer level 50. And I talked a little bit about this in the interview
so you got to be max level
that I had on Tangents of Creation. And, with it, I'll talk a little bit about it here. Within the design team, we obviously had a very lively discussion about whether or not there should be a adventuring level limit on a system like the Freehold, right? And again, when you compare the minute detail or the iterative detail that is what level gets accessed versus the overarching game philosophy or core tenet that we're trying to provide, which is the idea of exclusivity, of risk versus reward, of unique accomplishments, and not everybody gets a trophy, we can accomplish this system still and make an iterative change to the level requirement on the Freehold. Like that's a great example of the last point of discussion we were just having. So ultimately, when we talk about that adventuring level design, when we get into testing and we take into account the feedback and we get to see that system play,
just throwing this out there, I don't think locking something necessarily at 50 is always the best idea in the game.
Changing the adventuring level requirement down to level 30
right.
or non-existent
I think even allowing people a taste of it or an access to it or an option to get it
hands-on live audience
before your max level would be ideal. Like even 45.
Those are two different things when it comes to game design. You can have the best idea on paper that falls completely on its face in implementation versus in playtesting, right? So there's a spectrum there, and we're doing our part in making sure that from paper to implementation, these systems are accomplishing what we want them to. Next step is testing.
All right, and that is it for our development.
I was hoping they had some more.
July. We will have another one in August, so stay tuned for our August development update. Stephen, any final things that you want to leave people with before I go into the outro?
Let me think.
No.
Was there any soapboxes I wanted to get on today? I don't think so. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Aliens? Because I have thoughts.
Oh my God. Did you see the aliens? I'm telling you, that was crazy. If you guys haven't seen the aliens thing, go look at the aliens. John and I have been having interesting conversations about the aliens.
My friend runs the Illuminati podcast, and oh my gosh, I'm like, are you loving this? He's like, yes.
I'll tell you, the biggest concern and threat I have to Ashes is that aliens come down and they bring their advanced virtual reality technology,
and it kills the game.
Everything we've been working on for that last number of years is invalidated because we have the alien tech, which is just literally an MMO.
If I don't get a freehold, I will just live down by the way.
Regardless,
No, you can rent an apartment. Don't worry about that. You'll be able to rent an instanced apartment.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, the true.
And have a potted plant you can grow.
I have no other points. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation today. It is going to be up on YouTube. Go take a look at it over there. The streaming quality that Twitch provides us doesn't do the world justice, but you get to see it on YouTube. No, we had a fun time. Team's doing a great job, and hope you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. And of course, it just as reminders, don't forget to check out Stephen's Q&As that he's been doing with the Ashen Forge and the Tangents of Creation, and as well as head on over to our forums, forums.ashesofcreation.com. Send us your feedback. We
I
would
do
love
gotta
to
say,
hear
I
what
love how
our
big
community
the
team
freeholds
and
are now.
and Roshan are
I don't
amazing and
like
put
how
together
much
wonderful
how Steven
reports for our
keeps saying they
teams.
take up a
We also have
county.
our monthly cosmetic swap over,
Like,
Charms and Good Fortune.
it
That
doesn't
will be
make
ending
sense
on
to me.
August 9th.
How
So
can
if you want to
how
grab
can one
those,
freehold
snag
be
them
the
up.
size of a
And of course, thank you so much
own
to
the
our
land of a
viewers, to
county?
all of you for joining us live here, and for those
Oh,
of you
I
on
want to make
YouTube
a
who are watching
subdivision
later.
with
We
my
appreciate you
guild.
so much.
That's
We
what
hope
I
that you
want.
enjoy following our development process.
Let me chop down some
It's not
forests.
for everybody, but it is what we are doing so that we can showcase along the way the journey of creating Ashes of Creation. And of course, thank you to Dr. Bucky and Trad for joining Stephen as well. And we hope that you all have a safe and healthy rest of your month. And we'll see you next time. Make sure to
Bye,
follow us on all the
everyone.
things. Bye.
Well, that was a pretty decent stream, I gotta say. Um, the cleric looked very heavy on the heels, and for me, which is whatever, that it is what it is. Get a better background logo, but I mean, it's obviously early, so it's not like I can definitively say what the cleric's healing versus damage is going to be. Obviously, they didn't even have stun breaks put in yet, so obviously that's a thing. Still have not watched Freehold stream. Actually, you know what? I'll be honest. The Freehold stream was really good with a lot of details. To me, it looks like they tripled the size of freeholds, and how you acquire a freehold is I'm not necessarily the happiest about. And the way that Steven keeps saying it is like, what happens now is you go to a node, say I'm a citizen of this node, and then there's either an auction or some deal happens where you can buy or earn a parcel of land, and then you get to go pick the parcel of land that's available out around the node. And he keeps saying the parcel of land is the size of a county. So to me, if you have a level 6 node, you're going to only have like 5 freeholds around the node. I don't know, it seems weird to me. Maybe, I don't know what he means by county. Maybe California doesn't have counties. I don't know. But it doesn't look like you can butt your freeholds next to each other anymore. Or even within eyesight of each other, which I'm not a fan of personally. And I just think there's going to be, which hopefully this will change, where they'll just make it so there's just more freeholds. But they did preview a ton of different stuff with freeholds, like the processing and stuff like that. So I would go watch that. Just watch that stream. You will be probably pretty annoyed about the sizing of it. Not the physical size of the freehold, because those are bigger and way more interesting, but like the placing of them and how you earn them, I just did not like. But otherwise, it was a good stream. Kind of like this one. That's what we got here. But yeah, so did you like the Cleric preview? I took a poll. 5 out of 5 people said yes on YouTube. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it was a pretty good preview. I enjoyed it. But anyways, I really am looking forward to their nodes one next month. I hope that they're ready to show it off. I think that would be a huge stream to sit and watch. Trying to think what else. Yeah, that's going to be a big one. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it. I really want to watch it live. I doubt I'll be able to, because they always do it Friday at midday. If they did Friday evenings like they used to long ago, it was a lot more easier. But now I'm always working. Maybe I'll take the day off. I don't know. And they always change their streaming days randomly and stuff, so it's not like I can be like guarantee I can request the day off or anything. But either ways, that'll be a fun one, I'm sure. All right. Well, that's kind of all I got here. Thanks to everybody for stopping by. We had a couple, handful of viewers throughout Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and I appreciate it. I feel like YouTube is choking my viewers lately, or because I'm not paying into their. It's not a partner program, but it's like if you give them money, they give you views in exchange, and I'm not doing that. And I noticed ever since they came out with that, my viewership is just tanking. So I assume, yeah, it's I assume it's a conspiracy theory. That's it. But anyways, that's all I got. My little ramble there. Again, thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate it. I am Squeetee, and you can find me at squeetee.com, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. As I say every stream, someday I'll update my website. Someday I will. Probably not anytime soon, but someday. And yeah, I've been streaming 7 Days to Die, and that's been fun with my son, and it's been a good time. Yeah, Ghibli, it's like I'd have to go in the YouTube studio and look, but you can like pay for them to advertise it, but a bunch of people I saw videos did like testing between two YouTube channels that that are both similar in size and stuff. And if you pay for it, it's basically they just pump views into you, but they don't actually once whatever the payment is done, it's like they don't you're not getting more over time views. It's just like pumping it in over a day and then it's done, just like almost like bots are watching you. So for all I know, it kind of looks like a scam that YouTube's doing, but I don't know how true that is. But yeah. Anyways, that's all I got. It's weird stuff, and I'll get you guys another stream. Thanks again. Bye.